Hi, I'm Cookie Masterson, and if you don't believe in mermaids, then what is this right here? Huh? It's nice to know you'll both have a shoulder to cry on when you utterly fail at this game. You all take care of those screws now. You can force another player to answer immediately by hitting your screw button. If they miss it, you win extra bonus dollars. And our wrong answer of the game is sponsored by
the 24-hour Wicker Store, because there's no telling when you'll need a wicker fix.
If you happen to find our sponsor's wrong answer of the game, you'll be rewarded with big prizes and cash. Okay then, why wait any longer?
Get ready, time for question.
First up, let's talk about Sext. Which of these Sext messages would a sexting sexton be most likely to send to his significant other? This church graveyard is making me so horny right now. I'm wearing my construction hat and nothing else. My penis is starting to look like a skyscraper I once designed. Or, get ready, I'm sending you a pic of my junk yard. Player 2. Player 1. Come on, nobody wants to see that. Next time, try this. A sexton is a church official responsible for maintaining the church property and performing related duties, such as digging graves. Yeah, and I bet he likes to do it in the rectory.
Oh, Mama, gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Tell you so.
And now, sure, the Vice Lords are dangerous, but can they dance? And you just wandered into dis or dat territory. Player 2, your score is pretty lame. Why don't you play this one? I'm going to read off 7 names, and for each one, I want you to tell me if it's a gang listed on the FBI's National Gang Threat Assessment or a boy band. If it's a gang, press the X button. If it's a boy band, press the B button. Player 1, try to lock in your answer before Player 2, because if Player 2 gets it wrong, but you get it right, you'll steal that cash. Ready? Let's go. Backstreet Boys. 10 Mile Boys. D-Boys. Top It Off Boys. Boyzone. Hot Boys. Star Boys. Not bad, not good enough to be a member of Pop It Off Boys, but not bad. I'm sick of boy bands getting all the attention over girl groups. I mean, what's NSYNC got that One Direction doesn't? Those girls are talented and attractive.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
How about just trolling? Why were the 3 billy goats gruff so gruff? It's not easy being a baby goat. It's not easy being a lady goat. It's not easy being a boy goat. Or it's not easy being a castrated goat. Oh, you're screwed, Player 1. You got 5 seconds. A billy goat is a male goat. It's not easy, especially since goats don't wear pants and everyone can see your billy goat stuff. Player 2, that was your screw, wasn't it? And on its way. Over easy in 60 seconds. So recently, I've switched over to only eating cage-free eggs. I was just feeling so guilty about eating eggs from an animal that wasn't allowed the simple luxury of moving around a few inches in a hot, crowded barn all day. In fact, I've been thinking I should extend my cage-free policy to other things in my life, like movies. So tell me, If I only wanted to consume Nicolas Cage-free movies, what film would it be okay for me to watch? Adaptation, Kick-Ass, The Expendables 2, or The Wicker Man? It was begging to be picked. Nick Cage was an adaptation, Kick-Ass, and The Wicker Man, but The Expendables 2 is Nicolas Cage-free, making it fine for me to watch. I know going Nicolas Cage-free is the moral thing to do, but I'm gonna have to find some way to supplement my life with all the random screaming I'm missing. Players 1 and 2? No, not The Wicker Man! But you can be a Wicker Man or lady with a pair of wicker socks from the 24-hour Wicker store. A tisket, a tasket, your feet will feel like they're in a basket. Today's wrong answer of the game is worth a tidy $4,000. There you go. Here's one for you. Kangaroo Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus?
Kangaroo Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
Seen on the cover of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. Kangaroo Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus? Player 2? I think you know it's coming. Player 1? Allow me. While many celebrities and world leaders grace the cover of the iconic album cover, Einstein can barely be seen over John's right shoulder. Although, to be fair, if you squint, Ringo sort of looks like a kangaroo. That's the end of round 1. Remember, I'm doubling the value of each question in round 2. And don't forget about your screws. You want to win, don't you? Let's try Buzzkill Feed. What would be included in a BuzzFeed article, 12 people who are totally named Buzz? A gif of the first person to walk on the moon, a gif of the second person to walk on the moon, a gif of the third person to walk on the moon, or a gif of the last person to walk on the moon? Player 1, time's running out. Player 2? Buzz Aldrin was the second person to walk on the moon after Neil Armstrong. You also might find him in the BuzzFeed article, 15 people who wanted to murder Neil Armstrong. Player 1. Well, I've seen worse.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Coming up, when you wish upon a dead, shriveled hand. Suppose instead of wishing on a star, Geppetto made a wish using the monkey's paw from the famous short story. What might happen to Pinocchio? He'd come to life for 24 hours, then revert back to a puppet. He'd come to life, then Geppetto would get 6 more wishes. He'd come to life, but there would be terrible consequences, or he would not come to life at all. Not much time left. Player 2? In the short story The Monkey's Paw, a couple is given a magical monkey's paw that grants wishes, but every wish comes at a terrible price. That's why I never trust monkeys with wishes. If I ever hire a monkey, it's to dress up in a tuxedo, play the cymbals, and eat bugs out of my hair. That's it.
Follow me down to the sea.
Next, let's get ready to crumble.
Cookie, fortune, necessary.
Okay, for this next question. Oh, great, the lights went out. We could be here for a while. Luckily, I always keep a flashlight, bottled water, and a giant bag of fortune cookies. Okay, let's see what she says. It's better to have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. Yeah, obviously. But for which of these characters is this advice too late? A Clockwork Orange's Alex, The Catcher in the Rye's Holden, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest's McMurphy, or A Streetcar Named Desire's Blanche? Player 1, watch the time. Player 1. Player 2. Oh, you're gonna kick yourself. At the end of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, McMurphy is lobotomized before being mercifully suffocated by the chief. Spoiler alert for a 1975 movie.
Okay, Cookie, the power is back on. Cookie? Cookie?
I'm right behind you, Bob.
Ah, Cookie, don't try to suffocate me with a pillow again. You're lost.
Bucker up for Wile E. Conspiracy. Suppose Wile E. Coyote is chasing Roadrunner around the Texas School Book Depository building. If he falls out the window from where Lee Harvey Oswald allegedly shot John F. Kennedy, what will you hear? 3 floors worth of a falling sound, then a thunk. 4 floors worth of a falling sound, then a crash. 5 floors worth of a falling sound, then a thud. Or 6 floors worth of a falling sound, then a kerplunk. Player 1. Player 2. The totally accurate and untainted Warren Report claimed that Lee Harvey Oswald shot Kennedy from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository building. Of course, witnesses claim they saw a completely different coyote fall off the grassy knoll down the street, and the Warren Report still stands by the ridiculous single anvil theory. This one's known as Cinephile Dysfunction. Let's say some old guy pops a Viagra and then sits down to watch an insanely long porno. According to the official Viagra website, at what point should he immediately call a doctor if he still has an erection? The 2-hour mark of Dong with the Wind, the 4-hour mark of Dr. Javage-O, the 6-hour mark of Apocalypse Now, or the 8-hour mark of The Hobbit, the masturbation of Smo. Player 1. Hate to disappoint you, but wait. No, I don't. Player 2. The official Viagra website states that if you have an erection that lasts over 4 hours, you should call a doctor immediately. Hey, it's clear that the old guy from the question isn't me, right? It's some other person. Yeah, it's just totally not me. And that's why it's funny, because it's a completely different person who doesn't resemble me at all. That's good. That's good writing. Brace yourself for the attack. When you see 2 clues that match, press your A button. $2,000 if you're right, but you lose $2,000 if you're wrong. And of course,
remember the clue.
It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Oh, hey, did I ever mention I killed my own brother? Sometimes brothers just don't get along. Good luck. does it! Well, your scores ended up pretty close, but hey, player 2, you're on top. And that's where you have all the fun. Remember, always practice safe trivia and...
You don't know Jack!
Anton Jones was the greatest detective in the world.
I noticed a grey speck on your jacket, which could only have come from a quarry upstate. Gentlemen, the murderer is the mayor.
But after a terrible accident...
I'm afraid his body won't make it, but we can save his brainwaves.
The greatest mind in the world now resides in a pocket calculator.
Where am I? No!
And with the help of a friend, he'll crack the case and crunch some numbers.
Don't you see, John? There's no way his wife could have killed him.
That's great. But how much should I leave for this tip?
Oh, 15% of 28.50 is,
From the producers of Tommy Gulch, Attorney Stripper, comes Calculator Jones, P.I.
Any last words, Calculator Jones? Boobs? Boobs.
Freeze! Police!
I'll be back on the street in no time.
Then I guess I'll calc you later.
My name is Jaden Funk, and I want to teach you slam poetry.